In this video, we will discuss about structure of an Angular application. Now, let's start with browser list or C. This has the list of all the browsers that are supported by this application. In our previous video, we have discussed this editor config and git ignore. Next, we have angular.json file. Here we have the schema, version, project root. In the projects, we have one single application name is hello world. If you expand this, you can see project type application, source root, src folder, prefix app. Now expand this architect. The structure is same. It has build, serve, extract i18n and test. Next we have karma.config.js file. This file is used to store the setting of Karma such as test cases. It has a configuration for writing unit test. Karma is the test runner and it uses Jasmine as a framework. Both tester and framework are developed by the Angular team for writing unit test. Then we have package.json and readme.md that we discussed in our previous video. Next file is tsconfig.app.json. See here, this file is inherited from tsconfig.json file. tsconfig.json file is specific to workspace. It means if you are having multiple applications in your workspace, then we can define all the global settings here. But if you want some settings specific to particular application, that you can define in this tsconfig.app.json file. Then next file is tsconfig.spec.json file. See here, this file also inherited from tsconfig.json file. This file is used for testing purposes in the Node.js environment. It also helps in maintaining the details for testing. So far we have discussed all the files that are available in the root level. Now let's focus on Src folder. This is the main folder of Angular application. All these files are basically for the configuration, but the actual code that we write in the application that is available in the Src folder. Inside this folder we have few more folders: app, assets and environments. Now start with assets folder. If you are using any physical file like image, audio and video, you can define all the physical file in this assets folder. Now expand this environments folder. Here we have two files, that is environment.production.ts. This is for production. Environment.ts. This is for development. In development scenario, we can have multiple environments. We can define all those here. If you want to write any code specific to the development, we can define those settings here. You can use this file to store environment, either production or development environment, specific configurations such as database credentials or server IP addresses. In the production environment, we can define only production level settings. Then we have favicon.ico. This is icon file that is visible on the browser. When you run the application, you can see this icon along with the title. Then we have index.html file. This is a HTML file, contains HTML code with the head and body section. Inside this, we have doc type HTML, HTML language. Inside this head, we have title, base href, and in the body section, we have app root. This is not a HTML tag. This is specific to Angular. This is the only HTML structure that we have in the Angular application. You can see here there is no references to any style sheet or JavaScript file. This is because all dependencies are injected during the build process. Now let's see about Polyfills.ts file. This file is basically used for browser related configuration in Angular. If you write the code using TypeScript language, then this file is used by the compiler to compile your TypeScript code to a specific JavaScript method. so that it can be used by different browsers. Basically, this polyfills.ts file fills the gap to provide the features of JavaScript that are needed by Angular and the features supported by the latest browsers. This file is mainly used for backward compatibility. Then we have styles.css. All the global level CSS that you want to use in your application, you can define those settings here. Then we have test.ts file. This file is basically used for testing purposes. This is the configuration file of Karma, which is used for setting the test environment. In this file, the tester will write the unit test cases for testing the project. Next, we have main.ts file. This is the entry point for our application. If you worked with programming languages like Java or C or C Sharp, then you can compare this file with main method of those application. Let's see about app folder. Inside this app folder, we have few files. Let's open this app.module.ts file. This is the first module that we are using in this application. Name of this module is app module. Every module has the list that has the declaration of all the components. See here in the declaration, we have app component. We have this component here. This is the main component. This is the structure of the component. This is template URL. Template URL means HTML file for this particular component, that is app component.html file. And we have style URLs, that is app component.css file. We don't have this spec file URL in this component because it is optional. In every Angular application, we must have at least one single module and one component. This is the basic need of any Angular application. If you want to create any component, service or module, then you need to create it inside this app folder. When you start your application, this main.ts file is first used. Here we are telling the application about default module that you want to use in the bootstrap module. Here we have defined app module. Let's open this app module.ts file. Here we have imports array. In this imports array, we are using browser module. This is coming from here. Then we have providers. This is for services. As of now, we are not using any service, so it is blank. Then we have bootstrap. This is very important. The default component is defined here. When you run this application, app module is the default module and app component is the default component. I hope you understand this video. Thanks for watching this video.